And finally, today's comedy to review is from Juzo Itami, who directed the cult favorite Tampopo. And this film is the 1996 film Supermarket Woman. Has a Letterboxd score of 4.1 out of 5 and IMDb of 7.3 out of 10. It has no Rotten Tomatoes or Metacritic rating and no accolades to speak of as of this time. I didn't hear about Supermarket Woman until I started looking at films from 1996, and even after that, I kind of skipped it because there really wasn't a way to watch it. And then I saw it was on Criterion Collection, so I was like, okay, I'll give this a shot. And this is from Juzo Itami, who did the film Tampopo. Now, I reviewed Tampopo a couple years ago with Zero, and I didn't like it all that much. I know some people really like the film, and I get why, but it wasn't for me, so I wasn't really looking forward to Supermarket Woman, but I will say, this film is fun. It's a light, delightfully goofy film that doesn't take itself seriously at all. There's a good amount of the film that I was really enjoying just the charm of it. And a lot of the charm has to do with Nobuko Miyamoto's performance, who plays the Supermarket Woman in the movie. As Hanako, she's very lovable, very charming. I just like her character, and I like her performance the most. She is probably the best part of the film. Just very likable, very enjoyable to watch, funny, sweet. I love the character of Hanako, and I love Miyamoto's performance in this. But there's also a few problems. This film is way too long. This clocks in about 2 hours and 10 minutes. I think this should have been a 90-minute film. Tops. There is so much in this movie that could have been truncated or gotten rid of. I don't know why they felt the need to actually go through the entire supermarket's departments and show, oh, this needs fixing, and this needs fixing, and this needs fixing. You could have just done 2 departments, and they went ahead and did a montage of the other departments and Hanako finding ways to improve them, and been just fine. I would have done 3. I would have done the cashiers, I would have done maybe one other section for a little bit, and then I would have done the pros in the back who are doing the meats. That would probably be the only 3 that I would have done, and the rest could have been just easily done in a montage, like, oh, look at Hanako changing everything in Honest Mart, and that would have been just fine. What I think should have been taken out completely is this forced romance between Goro and Hanako. I thought it was so unnecessary. And on top of that, Goro is just not that good of a character. He's really just a character just like, oh, woe is me, I don't know what I'm doing, blah, 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 blah. It's just a very uninteresting, and I wouldn't say unlikable, he's fine, but he's a character when he was on screen, everything kind of slowed down. If the film would have just stayed on Hanako and just kept Goro at a distance at a certain point, have Goro come up every once in a while, looking like, I wonder how she's doing this. And that would be about it for me. But then again, this is a Japanese film, so maybe Japanese people have different customs of how they want their entertainment to be. So there is that. But I will say I did enjoy Supermarket Woman. It is a very fun movie, but it is a way too long movie. But for what it is, I did enjoy this cozy, comforting film. And I think some people, if they give this a shot, they'll find it to be a good comfort watch for them too. Now, in every episode of Watch Rate Heart, I not only give you my opinion of the films I'm watching, but the opinions of the Letterboxd community. Let's start with Nora. Nora gives it 4 stars out of 5 with a heart. And Nora says, the girl bossification of the grocery industry. Just kidding. This is mainly about the importance of local business and anti-corporations. Big box store is literally called Discount Demon. It made me laugh very hard. Yeah, the film is very obvious, but I kind of like it with that. Juzo Itami made such a lovely film that it temporarily made me forget how much I hated being a grocery store cashier in high school. Oh man, I hated being a cashier in like Walmart and Kmart. I hated it. Ugh. Nobuko Miyamoto squirts a whole bottle of mayonnaise in a thief's face. It is so silly. The comfort movie crowd is sleeping on Itami, I think. I actually agree with Nora on one thing. There is a group of people that like comfort films, and I think this would be one of those films that they would enjoy if they would give it a shot. This next one's also a long one. This one is from Ford H. Ford H gives it 3.5 stars out of 5, and Ford says, I did like this, but I have to be absolutely honest here. The tone was so light that I struggled to fully connect with the characters. A lot of this has to do with the conflict, which to me was a bit too steady and unchanging, like a horse walking through the flatlands. You know, I kind of agree with that. But I also think the conflict really wasn't the main point of the film. I think it was just having Hanako there and the charm that she has and the characters and the silliness. I think that's what really the point of the film was. But if you're looking for the conflict, yeah, it's barely there. I agree with that. That's not to say there is no arc to the story. There is one, but I was kept at arm's length due to the repetitiveness in the plot. This could have been a much better 90-minute movie. That I absolutely agree with. Absolutely. Don't get me wrong, there's a certain charm to this film that I enjoy and respect, but at the same time, the stakes weren't felt. Most of these obstacles, which are external, were easily overcome. Supermarket Woman was indeed badass, but due to the lack of an immense personal struggle, I didn't care so much. I think if there was an immense personal struggle, this wouldn't be as light and as comfy and cozy as I think the film was trying to go for. So, if that's what you're looking for in this type of movie, I can get why you were kind of falling off of it, but I don't think that's what the film was really trying to grasp onto. This next review is from Molly Raspberry. Molly gives it 5 stars out of 5 with a heart. And Molly says, never thought I would love a pro-business movie as much as I did this one. More movies about revitalizing a small business supermarket needs a chase sequence involving a decked-out super truck with yokai painted on the sides. That was crazy. These are the movies we see to comprehend what truly makes life worth living, an affirming picture. Yeah, this film is crazy at times. And finally, this last review is from Chad. Chad gives it 4 stars out of 5 with a heart. And Chad says, my first Itami. I had a lot of fun with this one, and Nobuko Miyamoto is such a gem to watch. This year I kept looking for fun Japanese movies, and Itami kept being recommended. I guess I'm finally going to watch Tampopo now. Look, like I said at the beginning, I wasn't a fan of Tampopo, but a lot of people are. So I would say if you did like this film, definitely give this a shot. Again, Tampopo was really not my thing. So in review, I found this film to be light, delightfully goofy, and it doesn't take itself very seriously. I think Nobuko Miyamoto is very charming and lovable as Hanako, but honestly, I think this film should have been cut to about 90 minutes. There is just so much fluff in this film that could have been either truncated or could have been taken out completely. Overall, I'm going to give Supermarket Woman 3 stars out of 5. I enjoyed this film. It was fun, but again, I think it was way too long, and it could have been cut so much by making it snappy, being a much more fun film. Although I had that problem, I did enjoy it, but I also enjoyed it because I love Nobuko Miyamoto in this film. I thought she was really good. So, 3 stars out of 5 for me for Supermarket Woman. It has been on the Criterion channel for a while, so check it out there if you are interested. Now let's recap the films I've watched in this week's episodes. I gave 2 stars out of 5 for No Hard Feelings. I felt that the raunchy sex comedy was neither raunchy, sexy, or funny, but I felt the drama between Lawrence and Feldman was actually good, and they had good chemistry. I kind of wish they kind of stuck with that while having some comedic elements in the film. I gave 4 stars out of 5 for Another Round. Great chemistry with the lead actors. I think Mads Mikkelsen is very good in the film. It has a surprisingly emotional ending, and it mixes comedy and drama quite well. Highly recommend that film. I gave 3.5 stars out of 5 for Brassed Off. The drama is very effective, involving the town and the mine and everything that's going on with that. There's a great performance by Pete Postlethwaite and Stephen Tompkinson, but I felt the McGregor-Fitzgerald romance was completely unnecessary in the film. I gave 3 stars out of 5 for Supermarket Woman. It's a delightfully unserious film that's light and enjoyable. Nobuko Miyamoto's performance is very charming and lovable, but the film just goes on for way too long. And my film of the week easily is going to be Citizen Ruth, which I gave 4.5 stars out of 5 with a heart. Kurtwood Smith, Swoosie Kurtz, and especially Laura Dern give great performances. I thought it was thoughtful and hilarious satire that is not only relevant today about the subject it was talking about, but it also is relevant about politics in general. If it's a film that you have been meaning to watch but have not, you really should. It is one of Alexander Payne's best. And first, my film of the week is Citizen Ruth. And that is it for this episode of Watch Rate Heart. But before I go, let me tell you the films I'm going to be reviewing next week. In celebration of WrestleMania on Sunday, I'm going to be reviewing all professional wrestling films. I'm going to start with The Iron Claw, and then we're going to do Fighting With My Family, The Peanut Butter Falcon, and Nacho Libre. So those are all next week. Check them out if you are interested. If you liked any of the reviewers I've highlighted in this episode, you can check out the video description for a link to our Letterboxd profile, and be sure to give them a follow and let them know that Brad from Watch Rate Heart sent you. You can follow me on Letterboxd and X at Watch Rate Heart. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it and share with your friends. I'm Brad from Watch Rate Heart. Thank you for watching, and remember, we all watch and rate movies, but you give them the heart that makes them live forever.